Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. Very excited to have all of you over here. We'll soon be starting the session, just waiting for all the participants to join the session. Before we start, in the meantime, if you could just give us brief introductions in the chat window, that would be great. I would also recommend you guys to keep your videos off because it just helps in the internet bandwidth and it would be easier for you and as well as for us. So I'll just request you to probably just keep your videos off.
We see a lot of participants who have attended our sessions before. Good afternoon once again. So glad to have all of you all back in our sessions.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. Thanks a lot for the teachers who are giving us their introductions in the chat window. I'll request all of you to just introduce yourself in the chat while we wait for the other participants. Thanks a lot, everyone, for giving your introductions in the chat. Very excited to have all of you over here. I will just recommend you to keep your videos off for the duration of this session, and so that it just helps in the internet bandwidth. Also, if you guys are facing any issues with the audio, let me just help you out over there with regards to that. I see most of you are connected via audio, so that's great. Very excited to have all of you over here. Whosoever is having trouble connecting via audio, let me just help you out there.
Good afternoon, everyone. We will be starting our session shortly. We are still awaiting a few more participants. They are in the waiting room. They're going to join us soon. While you're here, keep the introductions coming. Good afternoon, everyone. Really, really happy to have all of you all here. Please keep those introductions coming, and you can engage with other teachers in the chat box. For the duration of this session, we request you to keep your videos switched off and your cell phone mute. At the end of the session, we will ask you to switch your video on. So please wait for those instructions. And thank you so much for joining us once again. I see a lot of repeat participants and a lot of new participants. Welcome to live classes with Teacher Class.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm so sorry. I think I lost connectivity for a while. Thank you everyone for joining us today. So I think it's 3 o'clock and we're gonna start this session right now. So today I will be your moderator, and my name is Tanvi Goyal and I work with Teacher Class. Your speaker for today will be Raisa Dalvi, and she'll be taking you through Google Slides today. I'm also having one of my colleagues over here, Umesh. He'll be helping us with all the technical support, and you might see messages from him in that chat window. So just look out for messages if you're asking any questions or if you're looking for any links. He might be sharing a few messages in the chat window along with me and Raisa. So before I start with the session, I would like to take you guys through what we do, and would like to just give you a brief introduction of Teacher Class. So just give me a minute to just take you through our website. I would also request all the participants to stay on mute during the entire duration of this call. And at the same time, please keep your videos off so that it just helps in the internet bandwidth. Thanks a lot. So this is our Teacher Class website, which is teacherclass.org. You can search for it on any of the browsers that you are comfortable with. So I'm just going to take you through a few of the things on the website so that you are comfortable with it completely. So at the top, you can see the symbol for register with us today. It basically takes you to the form where you can just leave your contact details and let us know if there are any other tools that you would like to learn. So that is the easiest way to get connected to us and to get added to our database so that you are aware of all the things that we are doing. Secondly, we are also building this tool repository, which is nothing but a accumulation of different tools that the teachers can use. So what we do is that we do thorough research and we just put together some of the tools which are very, very useful for the teachers. So as you can see, these are some of the tools which you can explore. You don't have to go through different websites to find out what works for you and what doesn't. You can just look at our website and go through these tools. We have gone through them completely and have written good reviews about them and whatever we think, how can you use them. We have also created tutorials for all of these tools. So these tutorials can be found on our YouTube channel. We will be sharing the link of our YouTube channel in the chat box right now. You can subscribe to it and look out for our videos. Second thing that I would like to take you through is our live classes, which is you can find at the top right corner. The second thing, the live classes. So over here, you'll find all the live classes that we have taken so far. So over here, you'll see the recordings of all the classes that we have taken. So we have, in the last week, we took classes for Diksha, we took classes for TestMoz and Google Classroom. And next week, we are planning to take classes for Google Forms as well. Over here, you can see all our upcoming classes. So this is the first class, the Google Slides that you are in already. And this is the next class. These are the 3 classes that we are planning to have in the next week. So once you click on them, it will take you to a form where you can register interest for any of these classes. Another way to register interest with us is for these live classes is on our homepage itself. If you just click over here, you will be able to sign up for these live classes. In the chat window, we'll be also sharing the link directly so that you can just go to a Google form and simply just fill it up. All right. So I'm done with the introduction for our Teacher Class, and I'm done with telling you what we do. I would request Raisa to just take us through her presentation so that I can discuss with you a few more things. So thank you, Raisa. Great. So we are going to be learning about Google Slides today. But before we start, let me just take you through a few things to remember for this session. So the first thing is that just know that we are going to be recording this session. So please do not worry about taking recordings of it or anything. We do put up recordings on our website pretty quickly and on our YouTube channel. I also showed it to you on our website and on our YouTube channel also. You can just go to it and subscribe to it and you will get to know anytime we upload anything new. In this class, what's going to happen is that Raisa is going to cover a few features of Google Slides, and then she's going to take a pause where I'll address all the questions that you guys have asked. So I'll request you guys to keep all your questions in the chat window. Over there, I, being your moderator, will be going through each and every one of your questions and will be posing them to Raisa when she takes a break. So don't hold back. Don't wait for her to take a pause. Just keep writing your questions so that I can ask them when she takes a break. I would also like to just remind you that this class is basically just an overview of Google Slides. And we understand that this Google Slides is a pretty vast tool. So the questions that you might have, there is a chance that we are not able to address them. But what we are going to do is that in the breaks, we limit our questions to a couple of questions, and all the remaining questions will be addressed at the end of this class. So, but don't hold back on the questions, just keep writing about them in the chat window. Before I give it over to Raisa, I would just like to do one last thing, which is I just want to understand where all of you are with Google Slides right now. So I'm just launching a poll that you will be seeing on your screen. So if you could just take a moment to answer that question which you are seeing on your screen. Thanks a lot for people who have already started answering. Thank you everyone for the quick responses. Just waiting for a few more participants to give us responses. I'm just going to keep it for 1 more minute so that everyone is able to answer the question. I hope everyone is able to see the poll on their screens. Those of you who have not answered, I'm just keeping it for 30 more seconds and I'll be sharing the results with every one of you. All right. So I'm just going to end the poll right now. And just so you know what the results look like at this point, I'm just sharing them with you. So as you can see, few are on a 1. That is, you're not very familiar with Google Slides. And that was our understanding as well. And that's why we have just kept the session to a very beginner level kind of session. But please ask as many questions as you have. We'll try to address whatever we are not able to address during the session, we'll try to address at the end of session. So I'm just going to stop sharing these results and over to you, Raisa. You can get started.
Thank you so much, Kanvi, for that introduction. Welcome everyone to learn to live classes with Teacher Class. In today's session, we will be covering Google Slides. So many of you all I see are at a 1. So I'll just tell you briefly what Google Slides is. Google Slides is used to make presentations. And as a teacher, it will be important for you as now you are moving to teaching online. So it will be important for you to know this tool. And luckily, we are covering all the basics that you need to get started with Google Slides in this class. I'm getting a lot of questions in the chat box privately. I request all the participants to type the questions to everybody so that the moderators can have a view of the questions and they can come back to you with answers. So I just happen to see them. I don't have the view of the chat myself. All right. Now this is a beginner class,
Yes,
like I said.
I would request you guys to direct your questions. Sorry, Elisa. So I was just saying that just direct, if you are not comfortable with sharing the questions with everyone, and if you want to direct them to someone privately, then just do it with me, which is Kanvi. Thank you. Go ahead, Elisa. Sorry.
Thank you, Kanvi. Like I said, I don't have the view of the chat, so direct your questions either to everybody or to Kanvi privately. All right, now, like I said, that this is a beginner class, which will be covering all the basics that you need to get started with Google Slides. If you have already used Google Slides before, you can still hang on. Maybe there will be certain features that you may get to learn today. Now, Google Slides is easy. It's really simple, but it's vast. So it has a lot of different functions and features, but you don't have to learn all of them at once. We can pace it. We can slowly learn a few aspects. What we have done to make this learning easier for teachers is we have created short tutorials on our YouTube channel. So whenever you are trying it on your own, you can also refer back to our YouTube tutorials, and you can always pause it, try it, play it, try it again. So you can learn it at your own pace. I will ask my team members to put the link of our YouTube tutorials in the chat window. The objective of today's class is that you will be confident enough to create your own Google Slide presentation. Now, if you think that this is a little too much, I can assure you that by the end of this class, you will feel a little confident to at least get started. And what is most important when we are learning something new is practice. So right after the session, I would urge all our participants to definitely give Google Slides a chance and practice it. If you have learnings or if you have difficulties while trying it, please write to us on our social media channels, or you can WhatsApp your queries to us. We will be pasting the links to our social media channels as well as our WhatsApp number. We also have an email ID where you can write the questions, and we will try to come back to you as soon as possible. Now, why do we use Google Slides and not PowerPoint presentation? A lot of you must have used PowerPoint presentation. So I'll just tell you a few, points why you should choose Google Slides. Now, it's okay even if you still stick to PowerPoint presentation. It's completely fine. Both of these tools are excellent tools for teachers, right? But Google Slides has many of the same features as PowerPoint presentation, and it's on an online platform which has access to offline platform as well, right? You can access your Google presentations offline as well, and it's completely free. For PowerPoint, for Microsoft PowerPoint, you have to buy the license, correct? But Google Slides is completely free for you if you have a gmail.com account. I'll dwell a little deeper in it once I start my class. The next thing is it's really simple to create. At first, it may not seem like that, but as you keep going, I assure you that you will get a hang of it. The next thing is the storage. Remember how you create your PowerPoint presentations and you carry it in a USB to your school, and then you have to dig it in your bag and find it, and sometimes you may forget your USB, correct? But over here, Google Slides is on a drive. It's stored on a drive. So whenever you want, wherever you want, you can access your presentation, uh, like with just a simple click, right? What you can also do is that you can share your Google presentation with other teachers in case you want them to add certain aspects in your presentation. So you can collaborate and jointly create a presentation, which also I'll be showing you later in this session. And the best thing is it's really easy to share with our students as we take an online class. So the presentation that you see in front of you right now, that is also created on Google Slides, and as you can see, it's very, very simple for me to present it. So I will show you how to present Google Slides as well. So that's about why you should use Google Slides. Like I said earlier, Google Slides is really, really vast. So in this class, I'll be only able to cover like limited features, but the features which are actually important for you to get started. So please keep your notebook and your pen handy. And in case you miss any part of the session, please go back to our recording. We will be posting our recording on our YouTube channel as well as on our website. Like you have seen, all the previous classes have been updated over there. So you can see it at your own pace. You can pause it whenever you want and continue your learning. All right. So in this class, we will cover how to get started with Google Slides. I'll show you some basic features and I'll show you how to download and share your presentation. So with all of this, you will definitely be able to create your presentation and share it with somebody. And who's that somebody? We would like to see your presentation. So you can share it with our email address, that is info@teacherclass.org. All right, now just a last important point before I get my class started is that you will have to spend a lot of time on Google Slides and explore different features on your own. My personal experience with Google Slides is that it's really, really fun and it's simple. So you need to keep clicking and finding out exploring different features. And if you have found some feature really interesting, you can write to us on our social media channel, or if you have any questions, we will try to answer them as well. All right, without wasting any further time, let's just get started. So I'm going over to my Gmail to start my Google Slides. Now there are many ways to do this. I'll first show you the Gmail and then we will move over to how are the other ways to do it. Now the reason I choose to go over from my Gmail is first I can go through the Google Drive, correct? Do not get confused. I only have my gmail.com ID open and I click this 9 dots icon over here where all my Google free applications are here. Now I can open Google Slides from here, but I'm not going to do that. It takes me to the same page, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to open Google Drive. Now, if you want to know how to use Google Drive, we have created short tutorials for that as well. And you'll be able to find that on our YouTube channel. Now, once I've opened my Google Drive, I will create a new folder. This folder I would like to call Unit 1 Lesson Plans. Now, once I've created the folder, okay, I already have an existing folder of Unit 1 Lesson Plan. I'll just open one of them. And here you can see it is empty, and here is where we're going to start saving our presentations in this drive. Now I can also go open another tab and simply type slides.google.com and hit enter. It will also take me once again to Google Slides. I can choose this way as well, but the reason that I prefer choosing going from a drive is so that I can organize all of my lesson plans in proper folders. Now, when I save it from here directly, what it does it will save it in my drive at any place. So I'll have to search it in my drive and find my presentation. Rather, what I would like to do is organize it properly in a folder. That is Unit 1 Lesson Plan. All right, when we go to Google Slides, there will be a template that you get to work with. There is a lesson planning template, but I'm not going to take you through that today. I'm going to start from the basics. That is, how do I start from scratch, from a blank presentation? So now I'm back to my Google Drive folder. Over here, I'm going to the left panel and clicking New. And here it's going to give me a lot of options. I'm going to simply click Google Slides. As you can see, my blank presentation is loading. And the first thing I would like to do after creating my presentation is obviously title my presentation. And how do I do that is, if you can see on the top left corner over here, you have an untitled presentation. I'll simply click one click and rename it. You can rename it anything that you like. For me, I like to number them, and I like to write the name of the lesson plan so that I can identify it. And I've just clicked anywhere on the slide for it to save. Now, what happens when you're using Google Slides is you don't have to save it separately. As and when you are working on it, the changes are getting saved automatically. Over here, if you can see all changes saved in Drive. If you remember, we have created this folder is empty. That's only because I have to refresh the page once. So I'll just refresh the page to show you how it is getting saved over here. If you see, it has created my lesson plan over here. And I simply click it, double click it and open it and start editing it. Now I have it open on another tab. So I'm just going to start working on it now. So that's about how we could get started with the presentation. Now, once I'm in the presentation, I'm going to focus on how I can create my presentation. So like you saw that when I clicked a blank presentation, the first thing I did was create or give a name to my presentation. And what you see in front of you, which is automatically generated, is the title slide, right? Now, what does this title slide mean? It only means that you're going to give your slide a title. I want to show to your students, correct? You want, if you don't want them to see lesson plan, you can show them the name of the chapter. So you can say lesson number 1, solar system. And over here in the subtitle, you can simply add the date, which is 28th May 2020, or anything that you like, right? You can put the grade or anything else that you like. Now over here, let me show you some basic feature. Now I fed in the date, but I realized that I don't want to do that. So I can, without having to backspace all of it, all I can do is click. If you see this panel over here, this is a panel for all the functions of Google Slides. My cursor is roaming on it. If you see these two arrows, there's a front arrow, redo, and there's a back arrow, undo. So I'm simply going to undo this, and you will see that it erased certain portion that I had already typed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to redo it, and it'll come back. So undo and redo are important functions that you may need in your Google Slides, because it is very simple. If you make a mistake or like you delete a slide accidentally, for example, if I go over here and I accidentally delete my slide, and now I'm scared, okay, what's happened, what's gone wrong, I'll simply click undo and my slide will come back. So undo and redo are really important features that you need to know. And on that note, I am going to take a short break and take all your questions.
Great. Thanks a lot, Raisa. So we don't have a lot of questions right now. I think you will be addressing those in your forthcoming segments. So I'm just going to hold on to those questions, and I think we can go forward. And I'm very thank you everyone for participating in the chat box today. And I think you have been a very active set of participants today. I think Raisa, your voice broke for a second or two. So
Okay.
I will just request the participants to, if they missed something specific, to just let me know in the chat box. If I can find a relevant tutorial for that, I'll definitely paste that over there, or if needed, I'll ask Raisa to repeat that. So while she teaches the other one, I'll definitely ask you guys to just write in the chat box. We just have one question, I think, which you can take up right now is that what is the difference between, or what are the advantages of PowerPoint versus Google Slides?
All right, I think the participant must have missed my opening. So I'll just quickly share those again. So for PowerPoint, you need a license. If I'm not wrong, you need to purchase the license of Microsoft. But Google Slides comes absolutely free with your gmail.com. Another feature that it has is that it's an online platform with also offline access, right? So you can access it on both online and offline. Now, if I'm working on my computer on this Google Slide, and I have to travel somewhere else and I want to open it on my mobile phone later, I will have access to it if I am using the same email ID on both my laptop as well as my mobile phone. So basically, it is you're going to have your presentation with you all the time as long as you have your devices and your email addresses with you. So these are some of the features. While PowerPoint is an excellent tool for presentation, Google Slide is a great alternative for that. And especially now that we're moving to an online teaching space, both of these work really great for our teachers.
Great. Also, someone asked that, are you aware of WPS Office, since that's also free? And if there are any pros and cons of that?
So I do know that there is a free version available, but I haven't really explored that. I've worked a lot on PowerPoint, the licensed offline version, as well as Google Slides. Yeah, I don't have much information about that.
Great. So we also have two similar questions. That is it possible to do this on your mobile phones? So as I understand is that there is a mobile application for Google Slides. So you can definitely do this on your mobile phone. But I do feel that there might be some features which are not there on the mobile version, which might be present only on the web version. But still, from your from your mobile also, the basic presentation can definitely be made. Raisa, you can elaborate on that further.
Absolutely. So the YouTube tutorials that we have actually created on Google Slides are all done on the mobile phone. So you will be able to go and check how to do that. We also have some YouTube tutorials on the laptop version. Both of the principles of Google Slides remain the same on both mobile as well as your desktop. Now desktop it's easy to use, right? For me, I think I prefer desktop because it is easy to use. The mouse feature is there. Mobile phone, the screen is a little small, and I find it a little difficult to move the images, etc. But as an emergency, I definitely switch over to the mobile version when I don't have access to my laptop. So yeah, both of these versions work pretty okay. All you need to do is like practice on both of them, and whichever is comfortable for you, you can choose that.
Great. So many of the participants have also requested us to repeat certain features. So I would just like to tell you guys that Raisa, for now, she's going to continue with her class. At the end of this class, if we have time, we can repeat the things that you are requesting. Otherwise, we will be also sharing tutorials for each of those things. So please don't worry about that. All the repetitions can be done at the end of this class. So Raisa, we have caught up on all the questions, and I think we can go forward.
Tanvi, am I audible to you?
Yes, I am audible. You are audible. I think you can go forward, Raisa.
Thank you so much. I think I had a slight drop in my internet. I am back now, and let's continue with our class. All right, so now that we have learned how to work around our title slide, I will show you how to add more slides. Now, like I said, this panel over here is very important for us. It's got a lot of functions. Uh, so focus over here on the left-hand side of this panel, you can see a plus icon. Now there's a plus icon and there's a plus icon with an arrow. Right now, we're just simply going to click the plus icon to add a new slide. When we do that, we get a very basic title and a body slide. Now, this is a very commonly used slide. You can use this for all your headings and the basically the body of the lesson. So let's just type something here. That is, solar system consists of Then here I will type planet, sun, stars. Okay, so here I can type the body. I can also insert an image. I will show you how to insert an image in a little later half. So basically, how did I get to typing inside this? In the header, I've simply clicked inside the box and I can start typing. And over here also, in the text, in the body of the presentation, I've simply clicked inside the box and I have started typing over here. Now I want to, this slide is complete and I want to add another slide. Now here is where I'll show you what is the difference between this plus slide and this slide with an arrow. Now both of these will open a new slide. The plus slide is going to give you this common title and body slide, whereas when I click this arrow, it will give me a variety of slides, right? Different layouts to choose from. Now, if you see that there are different layouts of the slides, and I'll take you through some of them in today's class. Right now, we will explore section header. Now, I'm creating my lesson plan, correct? So this is what my students are going to see once I present this presentation with them. So I'm keeping in mind how my students are going to see different aspects of my presentation. So in my previous slide, I have uh, spoken about what the solar system consists of, correct? Now, there are 3 different segments, and each of these segments I would like to explore differently, like planet, sun, and stars. So I use the section header slide over here just so that I can section out different parts of my lesson. So over here, I'll simply put the section as planet. And what this will do is it will separate my lesson. Now, once I've created a section header, I will go on to adding my next slide. And now I will explore a little different layout. Okay, I will choose a title only. Now, when I'm saying planets, I can either start with giving my students a definition of what planets are, or I can start with showing them a picture. So I'll simply say planets of the solar system as my heading. And over here, I will insert or add a picture for my students. So how do you insert an image? There are 2 ways to do that. One is using this panel over here. And if you see, there's a mountain picture which says insert image. Another way of inserting an image is when you go over to the top panel where you see file, edit, view, insert. You can go to insert and you can simply go roll over to image, and you'll be getting so many options of whether you should insert from the computer, or we can search the web, or a Google Drive, or if we want to start a camera and click a picture immediately, we can do that as well. So I will show you how to use this panel over here now. I simply click this down arrow next to this picture and the same options will come here as well. Now, what is the advantage of working online is that if I want to choose a picture, I will not have to open another tab and search a picture. That's what we do, right? We Google search a good image. With Google Slides, it becomes very easy. I will simply search the web over here. And what it does is it opens Google Images, right? So if I say planets of the solar system, it will open all the images that you will find when you Google search. To say that this is an image that I really like, I can simply click it. And over here in the bottom panel, bottom right corner, you can see one selected, insert. Now you can select multiple and insert, but I just want this one. I'm simply going to insert this image. Now this image has loaded over here, and don't you think the placement of the image has come a little to the side? Now quickly I'll show you how you can place your image and how you can drag your image through the slide. Now this image has come to my left hand side, and I want it to be a little in the center so that my students will be able to see it properly. I'll simply left hold my mouse and you wait for this symbol of this 4 arrows, and you simply drag it to the center. Whenever you're dragging an image or a text box, you will see those red lines appear. That just helps you identify the center of the presentation. Now here I've been able to put my image in the center. Just Give me one more moment. Now that I've put the image in the center, I want to resize my image. So I click the image and you can see this blue border that comes up. So any one of the squares I can use to resize my image. Now this image is a little too big. I want to make it a little smaller. I'm left holding it and dragging it in the center. Now, once again, I feel like the placement of my image is moved a little bit. So I'm simply going to drag it back in the center using the red helping line. Now, if you see, my image is proper in the center, but my text is not. So how should I do that? I've simply clicked the text box, and like how you saw the border in the image, you'll see a similar border over here. And what you will need to do over here is find the options for your text. Now, I have to make the text in the center. I'm going to click this three dots over here in this panel. Now there isn't anything right now over here for text. So I'm going to click this three panel to open more options. Now when I open more options, you will see a wide variety of options that are coming here. Right now, all I want to do is make my text in the center. So I'm clicking this align function. And I can just align my text either to the left hand side, right hand side, just even it out completely or make it to the center. Now I'm going to make it in the center, and here you see that my text and my image are completely aligned. Now if at any time I want to move my text, I'm clicking my text box and you can see those four arrows coming in. I can use that to move my text up or down. So I've just used it to align my text, and I've just shifted it up. I'm left holding it and moving my text box accordingly. All right, we'll take a short pause. If we have any questions, I will take them right now.
Great. So Raisa, actually a couple of participants have requested you to repeat how to insert a picture. So
Okay.
if you do that.
All right. What I will do is I will add a new slide. For adding a new slide, I can directly click over here, or I can go into my slide panel over here and click plus. It will automatically open the same slide as it had before, the title only slide. I'll wait to add my title. First, I will show you how to insert the image. Now there are two options. One is through insert and one is through this panel, insert image. Both of the options are absolutely the same. I'm simply going to search the web over here. I clicked it. I'm going to search the web. And if you see, my last search is still on. I can close and I can add any other search. I'm so sorry. It closed the entire bar. I'll open it again. I'm selecting, say, solar system. Clicking enter. All of the planets of the solar systems are here. I click this image over here. And if you see this bottom right corner, you have insert, and I simply insert it. All right, for some reason, it is unable to create some images. I think it's because of the internet fluctuations at my end. I will try once again to create another image or insert another image. Yeah, it has done it this time, and that's how you insert an image.
Great. I hope this clarifies inserting the image into a slide. Someone also asked if they can insert videos in the presentation. I'm not sure if you have already covered it or are planning to cover it.
It is coming up and right in my next segment.
Great. In the meantime, I've also shared a tutorial on the same. So Raisa is anyway going to cover that in the next segment. So Raisa, many people have asked us that is it possible to insert your voice in the presentation?
All right. All right. I will try to answer that at the end of this presentation, if that's okay.
Great. Works. So there were a couple of questions on if they can insert hyperlinks or if they can insert word arts. So yeah, I think if you could just, if you are planning to cover that in your next segment, then that's fine. Otherwise, if you can just elaborate that right now.
All right, I'll just quickly take our participants through that. So I'm going to add another slide. And over here, I'll also show you if I've added a slide, and right now I don't have the body here, right? It's a title only. So I'm going to put the title like links to articles, correct? And I want to add a link over here. Either I can add a link directly, like I can simply paste the link, but I need a text box to paste the link. So I'll add a text box, and to do that, in this, I can either go to insert and insert a text box from here, or there's a shortcut in this panel to insert the text box, that is simply clicking the text box over here. Now, once I click this text box, it is giving me this plus icon, and wherever that I wish to insert the text box, I'm just left holding it and pulling the text box. Now this is my text box which is ready. Now I'll just try to find some link that is relevant to us. Maybe copy some link from, so I'm simply copying the link, and I have a link, and I'll simply paste that link over here. I'm just right clicking and pasting my link. So I can add links over here. I can also link it in another way, which I will try to show at the end of this presentation if we do have the time.
Great. So Raisa, I think at this point we can move forward. All the teachers, if you feel that any of your questions have been unanswered or have not been addressed, that's only because we are just trying to pace this lesson, and we will be addressing those at the end if the time permits. Or we will be releasing an FAQ document where you can read your queries answered. So for now, I think Raisa, we can go forward.
All right. Thank you so much, Kanvi, and thank you so much, participants, for all of these questions. It really helps build a deeper understanding as an instructor what our participants are looking for. So please keep the questions coming, and yes, we'll try to take all of them at least by the end of this session. All right, now moving over to another type of slide. So like we said over here that there are different layouts. Now we have explored the title slide, which was the beginning slide. We have also seen the section header. We have seen title and body. The next that we are going to do is title and 2 columns. Now this is very interesting, and as a teacher, I think I have used this a lot, and I think a lot of teachers will benefit from this. Now what this does is this slide automatically gives you 2 separate text boxes, right? So you can use it for your comparisons. So over here, I'm going to say compare the features. Sorry about my typos of Earth and Mars. Now I have filled in the title. Now I have 2 text boxes over here to start filling in, correct? Now I'm going to simply click inside one of the text box, and I'm going to write this as Earth, and I'm going to click the second text box, and I'm going to write it as Mars. Now what this helps me do is it helps me identify or compare the features of 2 different items, or over here we are comparing 2 different planets. Once I have the heading, I'll simply click enter, and I can start typing the differences. It is the 3rd planet from the sun. It is thinner than Mars. It has water. All right, and then I'll go over to Mars, but I'll do that in a while. I'll show you that once I've written the text, how can I change the font style, the size, how can I use bullet? So please pay attention. The first feature that I'm going to show is how you can increase the font size. Now, if you see, Earth is the heading, correct? So I'm going to make it a little bigger than the rest of my points over here. So what I've done is I've left held my mouse, and I'm simply dragging over to the text. You can also double click this text, and this entire text will be selected. Now once I've selected this text, I'll go over to this bar that we are using for all the shortcuts, right? And I will simply increase the font size. Currently it's 14 and I want it to be a little bigger. I can increase it by using this plus sign over here. I can also increase by going into this and choosing a font size that I like. Now over here 16 is not an option, 17 is not an option, so I'll simply type 17 from my keypad inside this. Now this has become size 17 and the rest of it is still small. Now I also want to make it bold because it's a heading, correct? So once again, I'll open this three dots over here and click bold. Now I understand that there are a lot of things for you to remember. I'll just give you a quick tip that this panel that you see over here is your shortcut panel. Try to search everything in this panel. You will be able to find it. So now that I've made the text bold, now I can differentiate between my heading as well as my point. Now all my points I have put it over here just as a text. I want to number them or I want to bullet them, right? So that my students will be able to see point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. Once again, I'll show you how to bullet your text. I'll close this by clicking this again. So that bar of additional tools has closed. I will select all the text that I want in a bullet. Simply go over the three dots again. And over here, there are different options of bullet. There's a bulleted list where you will get circular bullets and there's a numbered list. So over here, since I want to compare the two and I want it to be a number, I'm going to simply click numbered and it will number all of my points. All right. Now, if I wanted the other bullet, again, I can simply left hold all the text and drag it and go over to bullets. And here I'm going to have it point wise. But like I said, I want the number. So I'm simply going to click the number over here. Now, that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing your bulleting is that you already know that after Mars, you're going to put in bullet points, correct? So I simply press enter over here, go over to my three dots and select numbered list. So I can directly start typing my point number 1. There's a fourth planet, has dense air, it does not have water, correct? So now again, I don't have to select all of my text, drag select all of my text. Simply I've selected the bullet from the beginning itself. So these are the two ways how you can number your bullets. And like I said, this slide you can use for comparing your text. Now I can make my slides beautiful by using a lot of different features. I can add different backgrounds. I can change the themes over here. If you can see, a themes bar is open. But since this is a beginner class right now, what I'm going to show you is how to create a basic presentation, because even a basic presentation will get you started for your online teaching, correct? Over here, I can make it beautiful by changing the font style, by changing the font color. Let's see how we can do that over here. Now, since I've closed my themes tab, there's more space over here. So my three dots have been pushed and there are more tools that have been added over here. But if I still want to see a list of all of the tools, I'll click more and here I'll get all of my options. Now I'm going to change the font style as well as my font color. So what I'll do is I'll simply left hold and select all my text. I want one side of my text to have a different color and the other side a different color. So I've left held all of my text and I'm going over to the color option. I'm trying to figure out not fill color. Okay, here. This A icon over here is a text color. Like I said, sometimes you may get confused as you're new to it. So don't worry about that. You can simply roll over any of these to understand what the functions of this panel are. So like I couldn't find the color icon, I couldn't recall the color icon. I'm just rolling over to different, over here this is fill color, and over here this is font color. If you can see A, this is the font color. I want this to be green, and once again I want to select this entirely, and I want this to be, say, an orange color. So here I can easily be able to differentiate that these are two different things for my lessons. So that's about how you can compare slides. I'll go over to show you how to add videos, and after I show that feature, we can break for questions. So once again, I'm using the plus icon with the arrow. So I'm clicking an arrow, and I can open any other slide that I want. Say that I'm going to use a caption one over here. Now you can use any slide. You can use a blank slide as well, and you can add your own text boxes and move the images and the text around on the slide. So the layout is not the thing that you should focus on. If you're a beginner, you can start with a blank slide as well. Over here, this is a caption slide. So if you see that there's a caption text down and the rest of it is empty, I use this slide because I want to insert a video over here. So I'm going to go over here in insert from my panel. And if you see, there's an option of video. Now, when you use insert as an option, you will see that you can insert an image, you can insert an audio. We had a few questions about how to insert your own audio. You can record your audio through this. You can put in shapes, you can put in tables, charts, any diagram or word art, etc. I'm going to show you how to insert a video. So the fun thing about inserting a video is that you can directly search your YouTube video over here by typing solar system for kids, and I'll simply click enter or click this search button. Once I do that, it gives me a list of all the videos. So generally when you're making a presentation on PowerPoint, you go over to your browser, you go to Google and you search over there for videos of solar system or whatever your topic is, correct? Over here, you can simply put in the video, scroll down. Give me a minute to scroll down. You can scroll down over here to see all the list of the videos that are uploaded on YouTube, and you can select one of them. Another way of inserting a video is by adding the URL. What is URL? Is nothing but the link. Say that you were on YouTube and you found a really great video. You can simply copy the link of that YouTube video and you can paste it over here by right clicking. By right clicking and paste, and then you'll have the link over here. Now the last thing that I copied was the encyclopedia, so I'm gonna erase that. That link is not gonna work here. Only a YouTube link will work over here. Another way of adding videos is through your Google Drive. Now if I have videos in my Google Drive, as you can see I do, I can simply select one of those videos and add them over here onto my presentation. Now, can you add videos from your computer onto the presentation? That may not be possible directly, but what you can do is you can save your video on your Google Drive. Correct? To learn how to use Google Drive, we have created tutorials. One of our team members will share the links of that in the in our chat box. So you can upload the video on your drive and then you can upload it over here onto your presentation. It's not very lengthy. Now, one thing that a lot of teachers have told us is that, okay, I'll just first insert this before I go on to that feature. So over here, I'm going to search a video. I'm going to look at all the different videos that are available for me, and I'm going to select one of them. And to insert it, I'll simply click select over here. When I do that, just how my image appears, my video is also going to appear in the same way, and it is also going to open the video options over here. All right, now I showed you how to move your image, your video also can be moved in a similar fashion. Now, once you can see this 4 arrow symbol, so I'll left hold and I will move my video wherever I want it to be. And then I can also resize it by dragging the borders. Like if you see the square and there's 2 arrows over here, I'll drag it to the side. And since this is a caption, I can caption it saying a short video on solar system or any other caption that I would like to give it. Now, if you see on your right hand side, there are a lot of video options given, right? Format options for your video. So here is what I would like to show all of the teachers that are present over here is one thing we struggle with is we find the videos on YouTube, but they're very lengthy videos, right? Sometimes they are for 3 minutes, sometimes they can be for 10 minutes, half an hour, and you want to show only a part of your video to your students. And what happens is you have to cut the video, you have to edit it, and that's a very lengthy process. So if you're using Google Slides, it makes it really, really easy. If I go to my formatting option over here, you can see that there's a start and there's an end. So right now I've not put any time over here, but say that I want it to start at 50 seconds. So I'll put it at 50 and I want it to end at 1 minute 10 seconds. So I've added that time. So what it's going to do when I present this video, which I'm going to show you shortly, is it's going to play the video only from this duration to this duration. Now there are some other options that we can explore. If I scroll down, I can see autoplay when presenting. That is when I'm presenting a presentation, the video will automatically start playing. Now I don't want that option to be checked because I want to have the control of when to play the video. So I'm going to keep this unchecked. But if you want your video to play directly, you can simply check this box like this. I'm going to uncheck it. You have another interesting feature over here. You can mute the audio of the video. So whatever the sound coming from the video will be muted and you can use your own voice throughout the video to explain what's happening in the video. So I don't want that option right now. I want my students to be able to hear the audio. So I'm going to uncheck that as well. Now there are a lot of different other options like size, rotation, position. I'm not going to go in detail of that. You can explore it on your own and see. So once I've finished formatting my video, I can close the formatting bar and it has saved all the settings of this video. I'll quickly show you how the settings look when we are presenting. So right now I'll present the screen by clicking present on the top right corner. Now this is my video that has come onto my presentation and I'll play it for you guys. Now as you can see, it has started from 50 minutes like I had set the timer to. And if I'm going to play this, I'll just mute it for now. I can mute, unmute. I can play and pause anytime during my presentation. As you can see, I'm presenting a presentation and this is how your students will be able to see it as well, right? I'll play it once again. And now since I've muted the audio, I can explain that this is the sun, this is the earth, and I can use my own audio, right? Over here, or I can unmute it at any point and let the students listen to the audio. Now, if you see the video stop playing automatically and I didn't have to do anything, that's because I set the stop time at 1:10. So the moment it became 1:10, the video stopped playing automatically. Let's look at that once again. The video is playing on mute because I've currently muted this video. And I'll show you how at exactly sharp 1:10, the video will stop playing. So you can set your time accordingly. You don't have to sit editing these videos. 1:10 and the video has stopped. Now here we are going to pause for questions. I'm sure a lot of y'all will have a lot of questions at this point. Once again, would like to remind you, once you practice it, it will seem very, very simple. Kanvi?
Yes. All right. So we have a couple of questions. First of all, let me just bring the questions related to the videos. So the first question is that, so somebody asked that, okay, is it possible for us to download Google Slides for their offline use? To which my response is that yes, you can download your presentation from Google Slides so that you can use it offline. But the follow-up question on that is that what happens to the video in that case?
All right, that's such an interesting question, and honestly, I did not even explore that feature because generally I use Google Slides as it is to present my screen. But we will explore that in the upcoming segment. The next section is how to download your presentation. So we will test what that looks like in the presentation at that time.
Great.
Thank you for that question. It's a great question.
Yes. So we have another question that is, so when we, first of all, if we are inserting videos from YouTube, do we need internet while presenting the slide to access that video? So in my opinion, we do need internet to play any video if it has been linked through YouTube. But the follow-up question is that what happens, does the quality of video get compromised in any manner?
All right, that's again a really great question, and I would like to first tell you that to present a slide, you will need internet, right? You will have offline access. If you enable offline access on your Google Drive, you will have your slide available for offline access. But whenever you're presenting a screen, it is through one of these calls, right? Either through Zoom or Google Meet or any other platform that you're using. So to be able to connect to that, you will definitely need internet connection. And yes, to play a YouTube video, you will need internet connection, and the quality of the video will differ according to the net speed. Now, a while back, my net speed had dropped, or there was some fluctuations. So you heard that my voice broke. So similarly for the video also, such technical difficulties may come up.
Great. I'm not sure, Raisa, are you planning to cover the things that they can use when they're presenting a presentation?
Yes, I will be able to cover that, and I will try to show that as well.
Yes, so because the question was that if they're presenting, is it possible to use a highlighter or, a pointer to draw attention
Sure.
to something?
It was not a part of my plan today, but I can roughly take our participants through that.
Okay. Also we have a question on, I think in the beginning while doing the comparison slide, you got two text boxes. So somebody was not very clear on how did you get two boxes at the same time.
All right, thank you for that question, Kanvi. So I would like to bring my participants to the notice that Google Slides give us a lot of layouts that we can work with, correct? So like we explored some few different layouts. The comparison slide is also a layout. The layout name is title and 2 columns. So when I click that, I will automatically get a blank slide with a title and 2 text boxes.
All right, great. So Raisa, we also had a question on, is it possible to underline a text? So if you
Okay,
could.
that's a very simple procedure. So if I want to underline any of the text over here, say I just want to underline Earth, I'll left hold Earth completely as a text. And on this panel, like I said, there are a lot of things that we can explore. So underline is also one of the features that we can explore. There are other features like highlighting the text or filling color. I would really request all our participants to try these different features and practice them once they are trying out Google Slides.
Great. We also had question, is it possible to insert flowcharts or mind maps in a Google slide, and how can they do that?
Absolutely. So I will just show you that this is a slide that I have selected from a new slide, and now I do not want a title and 2 text slide. I can change the layout at any point by clicking this layout in the top panel and simply make it to say title only. And I can give my title as mind map, and I can create my mind map by adding text boxes and lines over here. But when I do insert, I also have charts and diagrams over here. So if you go, like I said, Google Slides is vast. You will be able to do a lot of things with Google Slides. Over here, you'll have hierarchy, a grid, tables, timelines. You can choose what you like from here, from your diagrams. Like I said, Google Slides is really vast. It's going to take you a lot of time to features, but you can start slowly. You can create a simple basic slide and then continue on to the more advanced features. Yes. Tanvi? Umesh, am I audible to you? Tanvi, am I
Yeah,
audible
right,
to you?
sir. You're audible to me.
All right. I think we've had some technical difficulty with Tanvi's internet connection, or I don't know what happened. What I will do for now is I will continue this session and we will take our questions in the next break, if that's okay. Thank you, Umesh,
Yeah.
for responding. All right, I will go over to my next segment, which is how do I download my presentation. Now, my beautiful presentation over here is ready. As you can see, I can scroll up and down in my slide panel to see all the slides that I have. Now, if there is a slide that I accidentally added, I can simply go over to that slide, right click and delete the slide, duplicate the slide or create a new slide, right? So I can delete the slide by simply clicking delete. And if I accidentally deleted that, I will click undo. If I want to duplicate a slide, say this is a slide and I want to do more comparisons and I don't want to start this whole process of coloring it again, I will duplicate the slide by right clicking on the slide. So here is the slide panel. I'm right clicking it. I'll click duplicate. Over here now I can simply edit this slide by choosing maybe Mercury and Earth, or anything else that I like, right? And over here, I will automatically have the formatting, so I will not have to change it once again. So I can simply start typing my new uh, content, and over here, instead of Mars, I'll select this and go to Mercury and change this content. So that's how you can duplicate a slide, and the formatting, the text, the colors, all of that will remain the same and you won't have to redo it again. So how I did that once again is right clicking and duplicate the slide. I can use this to add a new slide, but I prefer adding it from here so I can choose my layouts as well. Okay, now my presentation is 100% ready and I want to share it. I want to download this presentation for offline view. Here is where we're going to also test what it looks like once I've downloaded it. So I'm going to click file and it's going to open a list of options. I'm going to show share a little later. First, we're going to see how to download this. So when I'm downloading it, I have a list of options that are given to me. One is a PowerPoint, one is a PDF. I can download it as an image, so it will create a series of images, etc. But I want to download it as a PDF right now. So I'll simply click PDF. And it'll ask me to save this presentation somewhere on my desktop or my PC that I'm working on. So I'll simply click assignments and notes, and I can save it over here in my computer. Now, once I've saved my lesson plan in the PDF, one of the questions we had was how will the video look? So let's just open it up and see what our presentation really looks like. So now this is a PDF document. Here is how I'm going over all the slides. There is a link. So the link you can see is an active link, which I can click and go to the link that is actually here. The compare feature slide and my video. Now, if you see my video is a clickable, I can click it and open it. Let's see what it plays once I click it. It takes me over to YouTube. So if I want to play it offline, I definitely need a internet connection. And if you see that it is starting to play from 50. So in my PDF also, when I click that video, it is taking it on the time that I have allotted. So it will take from 50 and I think it will stop at 110. Let's just see what that also looks like completely. Thank you so much, participants, for asking such interesting questions. It really helps. So it doesn't stop, but it definitely starts at the time that we have allotted. All right, I'm going to close this YouTube. And we are back to our presentation. That's how our PDF looked like. There's another way of downloading, that is, I'll simply go to download and I'll save it as a PowerPoint presentation. Once again, I'll save it on my computer. And I can always edit my PowerPoint presentation later, right? So I'll open my PowerPoint presentation to just show our participants what that also looks like. It's taking a little time because my laptop is a little slow. Now, it wouldn't take this much time on your devices if you have faster devices. Just going to enable editing so that I can make changes in this presentation. And here, my Google Slides has been converted to a PowerPoint presentation. And let's look at our video. Our video is embedded over here, but when I'm clicking it, it is not taking me to the video. It is simply here as an image. So yes, that is one disadvantage of creating it as a PowerPoint presentation. Thank you so much for that interesting question. I will go back to my Google Slides and show you the rest of the features. The next feature that I would like to show you is that when you're downloading, you would like to share what you have downloaded with your students, right? So I have downloaded it as a PDF as well as a PowerPoint presentation. I can share it via my email, right? I'll go over to my Gmail and attach my PDF document and share it over there. Or I can go to my Google Classroom and share the PDF over there. Or I can use any other way of sharing it like we do for any PowerPoint presentation or a PDF document. Now there's another way of sharing your presentation on Google Slides that without downloading. That is when you go over to the share option over here on the top right corner. When I click share over here, it allows me to share this presentation with a group of people. I can simply start adding them over here, that is teacher class. So all my students, I can share my presentation with them by simply adding their email addresses over here. So once I've added all my students, this is very important over here. If I want my students to only view the presentation and not make any changes, I can simply give them viewer rights and send. And when I do that, my students will get an email notification on their inbox saying that this slide has been shared with you. Now let me just try to see if I can show you what that looks like. So I'm going to open up one of my students' accounts. It's not a student account, it's a dummy account right now. And if you see the first email over here is lesson plan 1, solar system, and it is an invitation to view. Now, if I want them to edit over here, it will come as invitation to edit. If I open this email, this is how my students are viewing it. If I open this email up, I can open the Google slide and they will be able to simply view it and not make any changes to our existing slide. I'm not going to open it up because we have another Google Slides open over here. But I wanted to show what it looks like for your students. Now that's another way to share your presentation with your students. Now what Google Slides also enables us to do is that it allows us to share our presentations with people, and we can also ask our other people to basically review your slides or make changes in it, correct? So if I'm having, I created a presentation on Google Slides, and I have a co-teacher with me who is teaching the same subject, or she's my assistant, and I want her to make changes in this existing slide. Once again, I'll go to share and say this teacher is Kanvi. So I'm going to type Kanvi, and I'm going to give her editor access, right? And over here, I can also type a message saying, hi Kanvi, please add images in this presentation. So I can even send specific comments of what I want my collaborator or my co-teacher to do, right? So I have typed in the message and I've given them editor access so that they can also make changes in the presentation. So two teachers can work on the same presentation together. You can also give your principal a view of your presentation and ask your principal to review your presentation, or just to observe your presentation. So you can add multiple people through this. Okay, we have come to the end of this session. There are a lot of questions that, there are a lot of different features that I haven't covered in Google Slides. Like I said, that Google Slides is really, really vast, and you have to take your time with each of the features and get to know it better. But here, with all the features that I've shown you right now, you can definitely get started with a basic presentation. You can download your presentations, share it with your students. You can add collaborators to your presentations. I think that is going to get you started with online teaching. All right, I'm going to break for questions right now. I hope Kanvi is back. Is Kanvi back?
Yes. I'm so sorry the internet dropped at that time. Raisa, one question is around how do you present a slide? And if you could show that, I'm not sure if you've covered that. And at the same time, how do you use annotator, or how do you highlight, or how do you use a marker at that time?
All right, I think that is something I missed showing. Great, I'll just cover that briefly right away. So I showed you how to share your presentation. I showed you how to download your presentation. Now, if you are already on an active class like the one you are at right now, imagine yourselves in the position of your students and you are the teacher. That is, you will play the same role that I am playing for you right now. Simply, I'm going to click present. And if I click down, it will ask me present from the beginning, or if I present, then it will present from this slide, I believe. Let me check how that works. I think my internet connection is a little slow, hence it's taking a little time to present. All right. Okay, I'm going to escape right now. I use the escape key on my laptop to come out of the presentation mode. Once again, I'll try to start presentation. Yes. So when I simply click start presentation, what it does is it starts from the presentation you are at. But if I wanted to start presenting from the beginning, I'll click this down arrow and I'll simply say present from beginning. So I just clicked it. And here my presentation is in front of you that I've created right now in this class. I don't know if you are able to see this tab. Kanvi, if you're able to see this tab, just give me a yes.
Yes. So what I'm able to see on my screen is that lesson number 1, solar system. And yes, I'm able to see the bottom tab. If you could just move it up a little.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I think it will be clear.
I am trying to move this tab, but I think I'm unable to move this tab from here. I think it's a fixed
Okay.
tab over here.
Great. Yeah, but it is visible for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Now from here, from this tab, I can go over to any presentation, any slide that I want. If I have a specific slide in my mind right now, I'm in my classroom and I'm talking about Mercury and Earth. I can simply go over to Mercury and Earth slide and start presenting. I also have a pointer over here. So if I want my students to focus on Earth, I will use the pointer from here. I simply clicked it. When you click it, it will enable the pointer. So and I think a pointer is really important for our students to know where they are looking. I couldn't use the pointer before this because I was not presenting the screen, right? So over here, if I want them to focus on Earth, I will ask them to look at Earth. If I want them to focus on Mercury, I'll use my pointer. If I tell them, students, please pay attention to the point number 3, and here I can use my pointer. What I can also do is I can caption it. I'll show you how this feature works. I don't know if you'll be able to see the captions, but let's try that. All right. The caption will start showing you everything that the teacher is speaking. Now, it depends on how your speech is. So you see the captions are coming below. So that's another feature. I'll shut the captions option right now. Whenever I want to enable anything, I'll simply click it. And whenever I have to disable it, I will click it once again. I want to disable my pointer, so I'll disable it. And I can also open question and answers here. Wow, this is a great tool. Kanvi, can you tell me what you can see in front of your screen at the moment?
It's only the slide, and at the top, I can see ask a question at slides.app.somlink.
Okay. So if your students click that link, they will be redirected to another link. Kanvi, can you please test that out for us?
Yes. I am not able to click on the link as of now because yes, I'm not able to click on the link. I think if you can share that link with the participants, and then they can probably ask questions.
Okay. I'll just try to share that. I'm copying the link over here. I don't know if you can see, I have dragged it with my left hold, and I'll go over to my chat in Zoom. And I will paste the link.
In the meantime, I would also like to inform the participants that I understand that you might have missed a few features or have not been gather it while Raisa was teaching it. Please do not worry about that. We have recorded the entire session, and we will be sharing the recording on our website and on our YouTube channel. So you can go and watch it whenever you want.
Kanvi, I have pasted the link of the questions over here. If you could just go in and type a dummy question for us so that our participants can see how the students can ask questions while this feature is open.
Sure, I can do that. So it will take me a moment to do that. In the meantime, I think it would be very meaningful if you could just do our end of session poll. So I'm just going to launch the second poll in the meantime. If you guys could just take a moment to fill that up. In the meantime, I can check up on the question bit of the slides.
Thank you, Kanvi, for doing that for us. We are at the end of the session. We are going to be taking a lot more questions right now. But please take a moment to fill this poll. It really helps us understand where you're at, how the session went for you, just so that we can improve our sessions, we can bring better content, better quality for you. We are just going to keep that open. And I see that a lot of our participants have also shared their questions. Testing is Earth bigger than Mercury in size? Thank you so much for these questions. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see, Kanvi, tell me if you can see the questions that have been posed by the audience over here.
Yes, I am able to see that over there.
So this is the same way your students will be able to ask you questions without unmuting. Like right now, all of our participants are on mute, but we are taking their questions over here as well. See, I can see a lot of different questions coming in. How many moons are there? Can we change the theme of SlideShare? Yes. Thank you so much for engaging. This has been a great audience. Thank you so much. We will still wait for a few more votes. Please take a moment to share, to answer this poll. The first question is, how comfortable do you feel with Google Slides right now after this session? And the second question is, how would you rate this session?
Yes, and a couple of people asked me that how did I do this poll? So yes, it is available only in the licensed version and it's not available in the free version. And once you have the licensed version, it's very simple to just conduct the poll. It's a very simple process after that. Raisa, I would also, I think somebody asked in the chat also, how are you able to see the questions as a teacher if you have shared this link with your students?
Right.
I'm not sure how are you able to read the questions.
So this is the screen that you see in front right now is my screen as it is, right? So the way, can you see my cursor moving around here? Can you see my mouse cursor moving around, Kanvi?
No, I cannot.
Slide number 8. My cursor currently is to my extreme. Let me annotate here. Let me use my pointer. Okay, when I use my pointer feature, my questions minimize. For that, I will need to switch on the question and answer feature once again. So I don't have a pointer that I can use right now. I'm trying to annotate using. Can you see? Compare here the slide. I'm sorry that I'm scribbling on this. Are you able to see it on this left-hand side, the drawing that I've made?
Yes, the blue
Okay.
color lines, we are able to
Correct.
see that.
Can you see the questions over here? I'm making an arrow. Can you see the questions over here?
No, we are not able to see the questions. So I think the questions are only they are
visible to the teacher. Correct.
Visible to the teacher. Yes.
So all my questions are presented over here. And as a teacher, I can address each one of them. So I have a question saying how many planets are there. I have another question saying, can we change the theme of SlideShare? And many more questions that I can see over here.
Great. So I think, Raisa, we have a couple of questions that I would like to ask.
Right.
So one is the question around, is it possible to add theme to a presentation?
Absolutely. Like I said, that this was a basic presentation. I'm going to end the presentation mode right now. To do that, I'm simply clicking escape and I will be out of the presentation mode, or I can also click exit in this panel. So it will stop presenting. Now this has stopped presenting, and to change the theme, background, etc. If you see this panel over here, please use this panel and feel free to explore different themes that are available to you. You can also create your themes once you get to a more professional, like more advanced version. So say that I want to click this. I can simply choose this theme here. And there the theme of my presentation has changed. I will try to make it as beautiful as I can for my students and their attention. So I'll pay attention to the font size, to the colors that I'm using, and to the themes that I'm selecting.
Great. So Raisa, one question that has been coming up is it possible to add a voice to the slides?
Correct. So like I had showed in the insert, let's just try and insert an audio over here. Once I insert an audio, I think it's going to give me, okay. So it's only asking me to insert from my drive. What you can do is record an audio from your laptop or your computer and insert it onto your drive. Once you put it on your drive, the options of all your audios are going to come here, and you can simply select one of the audios and insert them over here.
Great. There was a question on, is it possible to have different slides under the same lesson? So I have answered that in the chat also, but let me just clarify that for everyone else, that yes, you can have different slides under the same folder in your Google Drive. To learn exactly how to organize your drive, we already created a tutorial on our YouTube channel. I have shared the link in the chat box earlier. I will share it again in a moment. So yes, you can have as many slides as you want under the same folder on your Google Drive. Secondly, there's this question, Raisa, that is it possible to have different themes for different slides?
All right, that's a really great question. And so the theme is basically the theme of your entire presentation. So when I select a theme, it will be applied to my entire presentation. But if I want it to, yeah, I think it is in the entire presentation, right? So if I want it to not be present on a certain slide, let me just explore that option. So I'm just applying a random theme right now. And if I want to try and remove it, we'll right click it. I can change theme, but let me see if I can change theme only for this slide or for all slides. So let me just test that out. So it's asking me to change the theme from my panel. So I'm unable to change the theme from one particular slide. What I can do instead is I can change the background to another color probably, or another image. So that will help us, change the theme of that particular slide.
Great. Yes, as per my understanding as well, the theme is going to be across different slides and you cannot change it. But yes, as Raisa rightly said, that you can just change the background of if you want to have different kinds of backgrounds for different slides. I also have a question on, just give me a moment. Yes, is it possible to share a presentation with people who do not have Gmail accounts?
Currently, I don't know on this call how many people have Gmail account. You may have logged in from various accounts onto this call. So your students are also going to log on to a call through either Zoom link or a Google Meet link, correct? So once you log on to a call, you can present it to anybody like you are presenting your screen, correct? On my Zoom, I'm presenting my screen and then I'm presenting my presentation. In a similar fashion, your students will also be able to see your presentation. So your students may need a Gmail account to see the presentation when you're presenting it. But if you want them to share, if you want to share it to their Gmail accounts, then definitely they will need a Gmail account.
All right. Also, Raisa, I think when you were playing a video, the audio was not audible at that point. Was there a specific reason to that, or is there it can be resolved for that?
I think I had muted my audio for that one. Let me just quickly present this slide and show it to the participants.
Sure.
Now I'm playing the video, and here I have muted my audio. I can simply unmute it. Can we just let me know if you can hear the audio?
I'm not able to hear it. But let it just play for a second. Yes, I'm not able to hear it.
All right, let me try to figure that out. Can you hear my audio now of the video? Can you hear the audio of the video?
No.
Okay. I will check my settings for that. I'm unsure why that has happened.
Was it audible to you, Raisa? The
Yes,
play?
it was audible to me. Yes. So I'm going to go to format options and try to tweak the settings. In the meantime, I think we can keep other questions coming in.
Sure. So I'm just going to end the poll as of now, and also I'm going to share the results on your screens so that you're just able to see where all the participants in the call are. Just keeping it here for the next 10 seconds before I ask Raisa the rest of your questions.
All right, I am unable to figure out why this audio isn't working. It could be a setting with Zoom or
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, it must be the setting of your Zoom account that whether the system sounds can be played on Zoom or not. So you will have to figure that out. What we can do is that maybe we can include this question in our FAQs as well to clarify that for others. Raisa, also, is it possible? So the next question is that can we share our presentation on Zoom or other applications?
We can share our presentation using a link. How do you get this link is when I click share, I have an option of get link over here below. So I'll simply copy the link and over here I've kept it restricted, correct? If I want to change it to anyone with the link can open this presentation as a viewer, right? Like for now, for this call, let me just share this link with you just so that I can answer that question and all of our participants are also able to view this presentation, right? So anyone with the link can view. I can also give them editing access, but that will corrupt my presentation because a lot of different participants will start making changes on this presentation. So right now I'm giving the access of anyone with the link can basically view. I will copy the link from here and I'm pasting it in our chat box for our participants to see. So this is a similar way in which you can also share it with your students. Simply pasting the link in the chat box. Yeah, that's how we can share the link.
Great. Also, Raisa, we had a question on transitions. If you could touch upon that.
Like I said, that this is a very basic class. I'll just touch upon that. Like I can see a lot of people have joined this presentation and they are able to see this presentation live right now. They're able to view this presentation. Thank you so much, participants. You guys are really active in the chat box and it's really great to see. So in the transition, I can apply a lot of animation, that is how my slides will move, how the text of my slide will move, etc. Right now, I don't want to get into that. We have already overrun our time for the session, but if it's something that you would like to see, we will try to create a video in the future on how we can do this or how we can use this feature.
Great. So I think so there are questions on if we can share our slides through WhatsApp. So I think one very quick way of doing that is that just download this as a PDF and then just simply share it over WhatsApp. That would be the quickest way to do that, and I think you can totally do that. So I think we have caught up on a lot of questions. I do understand that there are a couple of questions which we were not able to address today, but please know that we definitely have taken a note of those questions and we will try to resolve those queries by some method. So thanks a lot for being such active participants today. It was a pleasure having all of you over here. I'm just going to paste links to our upcoming classes so that you can come for more such classes. Just to give you an idea about next week. So next week we are having class for Google Forms, Diksha, and Google Classrooms. As you can see in the chat window, we have pasted our schedule and the sign up link for our upcoming classes. I would really encourage you to sign up for more of these classes. I would also like to share our YouTube channel's link over here so that you can subscribe to it and get notified whenever we upload any new videos and can get access to all of our tutorials. Thanks a lot, Umesh, for pasting that link over here. Thank you everyone for being a part of this session. I'm very, very excited to have all of you over again next week as well.
We have a question saying Google Classroom is a repeat of session 1 or is it a new session? Right now, it is the new session. The upcoming session is a part 2 of the Google Classroom. So if you have attended session number 1, it will be great if you you will learn a lot more features in the session number 2. Thank you so much for all your wonderful comments in the chat box. It's really great to see. Thank you for being a part of this session. I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now, and I would request some of our participants to share a few words on how they felt about this session, and if they could tell us what they've learned or what they're taking away. Just please put your name in the chat box and we will unmute you and we'll request you to start your video for your testimonial.
So Rochna ma'am, let me just unmute you and also help you start your video.
Ma'am, it's a very useful session. We learned something on many, and we can add many things from the next part. We learned how to do Google Slides. The schools. So thank you very much, ma'am, for understanding, easily understood by the participants. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, we have a few other participants. Let me just try to unmute.
Thanks a lot for your lovely comments in the chat box. We will be sharing a closure email with you guys as well. So if you have any kind of feedback for us, you can share that over there.
Since it was, I'm just using MS PowerPoint, it was very often for me to use it because it's licensed. But Google document, it was very helpful for me. And it was very good session.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, we have a couple of more teachers who would like to share what they've learned. Let me just try and unmute our teachers. Tanvi, if you could do that, I think I'm a little lost.
Yes, sure.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon,
Yes,
ma'am.
good afternoon.
Ma'am, yes, it was wonderful session and a very easy way to convey the lesson plan through this Google slide. One query I am having, if I made this Google slide, can I show this in school on a smart class directly, connecting with mobile? How can I show directly the students on smart class in school?
All right, yes, you will be able to show this Google slide. If you have a smart class where you have a Wi-Fi enabled TV or a monitor or a
Yes,
projector,
ma'am.
correct?
Yes,
So you
yes,
only have to log in to your Gmail, open up your Drive or open up this link to the
Okay.
Google Slides and it will be
Okay.
presented there.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. So nice of you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I have, been a participant in all your classes for Google Classroom, for teacher class, but then it was for Hindi, so I left. And this Google Slides, I have been using them. I've used it for one lesson. And what I really like is I can sit on my phone also and just access everything that I want at the click of a fingertip, and access everything. And today's class has also taught me a lot of more features. So I'm very happy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for participating, ma'am.
If there are other teachers as a part of this call, you may share your experience using Google Slides with other teachers. It really helps. Like Majabeen ma'am just shared her experience about Google Slides. This is a great platform for us to do that.
Yes. So I think this brings us to our end of this session. We will be wrapping up in the next 1 minute. So if you have any comments or anything you would like us to know or any questions, please write them in the chat box. Yes, the session on Diksha will be the repetition of the previous session. But we will try to address some of the questions that were asked in the previous session so that those queries are resolved this week.
Leena ma'am, you can use our sign up link and join our sessions using the form. We have 3 classes coming up next week. That is Google Forms. Diksha, if you've already attended, you may want to come again for a revision, or you could skip it, and we have a Google Classroom Part 2 coming up next week.
Great.
All right, we're going to be here for another 30 seconds. Thank you so much for all your beautiful comments, and this is what keeps us going. So thank you so much for writing to us. We will be sharing a feedback form after this call. You can take a moment to write what has worked well for you and what would you like to see changed in our session, and we will try to improve. Thank you so much. All right, can we 10 more seconds, and then we are going to end this meeting.
Sure.
We have put a link to our feedback form. I think we have one of our participants who is speaking. Should I unmute you?
Hello.
Yes, hi.
Hi, ma'am. This is Kishore from Ripples Learning Campus. I have been following from your sessions from first onwards. Yeah, it was a wonderful session. Everyone can understand easily with your explanation, and you're showing everything by practically. That was very helpful. When you teach anything by showing by your voice, someone can't understand. But you're showing everything which can be practically we can do. So that was wonderful. Thank you, ma'am. Really, in rural areas, no one can use these Google tools and computers for teaching. And teachers also don't know how to use these tools.
Correct.
We are in rural area. We are able to use these tools because of our school management and because of you. Thank you for your session, and it's very helpful to everyone which are following you, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Kishore. And I hope that you attend our following session. Encourage all your teachers to attend the session so that all of your teachers can benefit from this program.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
And I would also like to inform the other participants who have been asking us questions on different features of Zoom or Google Drive, that please go to our YouTube channel to watch tutorials on those. And if you're not able to find any relevant tutorial on the basic specific need, please do not worry about that. As of now, we are definitely taking a note of all the features that are requested by you, and we will try to make address those needs. So please go to our YouTube channel to actually watch our tutorials.
I think we've come to the end of this session. Thank you so much for being such lovely audience and engaging participants in the chat. We will see you next week once again for our classes. Thank you so much.